but you know that ain't the person that killed these two beautiful souls. But you want to take anybody down so you can wrap it up, fix it, and move on. It does not work like that. And I just feel like a whole lot of things. I feel like all this stuff that's happening in the city, this is not all us. And I'm going to keep saying it may sound crazy, and this is not the West Coalition. This is Tawanda Jones. All the corruption going on is way too much. I feel like let's start at the pig's house, and that's the police department. They're the biggest gang in America. We have seen through the GTF how they set people up, plant drugs on them, rob them, kidnap them, kill them, all that. So what makes us think that all the stuff that's happening today is not their name's not in, their hand is not in the pot stirring it up. And what they do is they set the stage, or as one would say, they throw rocks and hide their hands. We in times you can't do that no more. And I get really sad and depressed when I go to town hall meetings and I see moms and dads, parents go there and they're grieving because they lost their child. And all they want is a conversation. We had a poor mother last night. All she wanted to be was heard. Her only child was murdered. And all she wanted to do was be heard and have someone to call her back just to say, hey, we still looking into it, even if they not. But guess what? Y'all really need to look into this stuff. Because the same way when things happen to white women, that you guys are putting up all this money to catch the killer, you really investigating and you finding out things and everything. Just like that poor lady, the mother that got killed at the mom and pop um, trail. They doing everything. You see that on the news every single day, and you should. But the same way you see a Caucasian woman on the news, trying to solve her murder, there's a bunch of women in my city that's getting murdered. Y'all don't even talk about. It's a bunch of missing children. Y'all might show on the news for 2 seconds, and that's it if you show them. So my whole point is we need real help. No one's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So no further ado, I'm gonna bring my brother Boom on and let him bless the mic. Mic check.
We all we got.
We all we need.
We all we got.
We all we need.
As always, we want to thank Wanda, and we got to double thank her because I like to say, I'm going to just say it from experience. A lot of times when someone loses someone, every a lot of people go into their turtle shells. Let's just say as they should. I mean, everybody handle things differently. I remember from experience when my son got shot 9 times in 21. A lot of people didn't even know about it because it wasn't for a lot of people to know why. Because I can't call the police, and I didn't call the police. I'm 300 gangsters, as well as SPG, and I know about the pigs. They would have killed my son. I know that. They would have killed my son at John Hopkins, and we would have let them know that a never done boy sitting there with 9 shots. But when that happened, a lot of people, kids did die. They got mad that mine didn't. So I say that to say, it's people like Tawanda that she is really fighting that it's more people that will get in their silos. And, well, mine got shot too, so what does that mean? I'm talking to y'all, but what that means is we all we got, we all we need. That your story is not just a teardrop in the ocean if you bring it towards such as an audience like this. That means that none of our things are not the same. Something wrong if everybody got a police brutality murder sitting in their house, but they're in their silos. We have about 20 names that we can think of that's really in Baltimore that we have fought personally from the front line. But I guarantee you, since 2015, there are hundreds. But we have, as a people, maybe thinking that the line or maybe don't know one know your cry. Unfortunately, Baltimore is called Baltimore Baghdad. It is a courtyard ran by inmates, and the inmates are the police. Reason why I say the inmates are the police because they haven't went to jail yet. Again, what I'm saying towards like what Tawanda is saying, there's a lot of things, even the people such as myself, I will share with you. My youngest son, he's on his way to the feds. Why? Because Covertel came and got my youngest boy and got him 6 years in prison with the feds. And he didn't know that. So if it's my son that I'm willing to bring to you, that if you think you fighting home and you think you got this, if I just told you what I said, if it's PFK's issues today, then when is it going to be yours tomorrow? And you need to come to the front line. So when it happens, I'll be there to have his shoulder for you. For when your son take that 9, or when like Wanda can help you, if per se police brutality come, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. And I thank everyone that's fighting in the silos, that's fighting on the front lines. But what Brandon Scott has basically done and regurgitated, and the worst thing that's about to happen if we don't come together is that we got a 2-year term situation grade come up with people that have control of the police. Who is the Antichrist coming behind him? Who is the Antichrist coming behind him? Because if he ain't on page, how the hell the next person going to be on the page if they don't know about Tyrone West, Anthony Anderson, Corinne Gaines for that matter, because she came from the city. She didn't come from the county where her blood dropped. Where's her advocacy? So again, there's a lot of things that we need to work on as a people in our own communities, that you also, again, have a lot of young men that's coming back in our communities that's dealing with something much deeper, which is called homicidal tendencies coming out of your judicial system because they get no help. Maryland and Baltimore raise killers. Y'all don't have murderers, and they're made by the system. Y'all, solitary confinement rate is 8.9%, which is the highest solitary confinement rate in the United States per 1 in 5 citizens. The average rate is 4.9. You're not dealing with citizens. They did that. We got to love our people is what I'm saying. Stop looking at your neighbor as the crazy man. Stop looking at that young man and wondering why he's on perks, because he's on perks because he's trying to calm that demon down that again that he generated from in the incarceration. And there's a wonder why Charles Hickey School has a big sexual abuse case going on now. That's our babies. Y'all see it on y'all Facebook. That's brown people that did that to them kids in the judicial systems. Do you understand these young kids that's on the perks, that with those kids, that's when you see sexual going up, the money coming in, but these are babies that's just happening to you right now. And it's adults that did that. And they move on to Jessup, and they move on to Spring Grove, and they move on to higher ups in this judicial thing, and they get away from what they did at Hickey School, Spring Grove, as well as these mental institutions that O'Malley shut down because they were doing very much atrocities to those people. Medical people, disabled people coming up pregnant, medical people coming up with AIDS and sexual things happening to them, back areas touched and things. We don't want to talk about that. Money does not cure that. Stop giving my people sexual lawsuits all the time. And we stop taking the lawsuits, maybe they'll look at us not like a car to get hit for insurance, waiting for a check. We're bigger than hashtags and body bags, like my sister said. Your child is not just a check. Sometimes you might just have to take the bigger fight, like my sister Tawanda, and you may have to say, I don't want the money. But taking the money as God is here, and 30 pieces of silver as the devil always offer, always going to get us here. And in a 70% city, it ain't no way you telling me just a cracker got his hand on my neck. It's my own brother. All black ain't black, all white ain't white, and I can show you with the scars and the knives in my back. All white ain't white, all black ain't black, and I can show you from the scars on my personal back. Because I think anytime that my son got shot, it wasn't no brown people bringing him back to life. And any father that see his son with some bullets on, if he was a racist that day, I bet you he won't be that day. Please save my child. So don't play with that either. Salute to the real racists. Because these little punks that up there in City Hall in Annapolis, they know who I am. I want them to know who each and every other brother that's out here is. And I want them to know your name so that we can all be strong together. Because them just knowing me means nothing. They need to know all of us. Mike Miller knew me. That little raggy little commissioner guy they got now, that man ain't even real, young ladies and gentlemen. That man is a cyborg. Did you look at the content of that man's skin and his skin tone? That man ain't from here. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. That's why he can look at death so easy. That man eat people and shit. Boom said it. That man drink blood at night and shit. He used to. I said it. I know. Look at the contents of his eyebrows and shit. And you go look at some goddamn gorilla in the goddamn woods and you tell me what you see. I tell him to his face. You do not have humans running your court systems. These motherfuckers are from somewhere, excuse my language, at this kids. These motherfuckers are from not even the Caucasus Mountains. These motherfuckers are made and goddamn Glen Burnie by some John Hopkins motherfuckers who made COVID. You really got to understand what you're dealing with. You ain't dealing with humans. We not even talking to humans. So that's why we need pressure and we got to mess up their cyborgness. They cyborgs, baby. We broke them already. We all we got, we all we need. Let's put them back on the ropes we had them at. All white ain't white. All black ain't black. Show me you my brother. Don't tell me you my brother. It's the difference. Stop telling me, hey, bro, and assalamu alaikum. Nigga, you ate a pork chop yesterday. Show me it. Don't tell me it. And that it ain't even boom. I'm political P now. They ain't even about. Don't keep telling me you my brother, because Brandon Scott Brown and Jamal Brown, the motherfuckers both supposed to be in Atlanta. Salute.
This fight gonna fire y'all. I'm really running. I
Should have
really
sent
don't
his
want it.
ass with Jamal.
But in reality, all skin folks ain't kin folks.
We're not. It's not a
And the
skin game.
saddest
It's a
part,
love
it's
game.
a love game.
It's a human game.
About
Be
him.
more
It's about
human.
humanity.
Hi and shit. How you
Yeah.
doing today?
Yeah.
I like you. Good morning. The basics. If you can't do the basics, your vibe is your tribe, first of all. It's not a skin tone. If you don't got nobody around you, your vibe messed up. You're not single. God kept you away from us. So you're not single.
I love you too,
Drop
boo.
the
I
mic.
love you. You know
Drop.
we've been and we've been.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic on him. Man.
I will really drop it. I ain't trying to break the mic though.
And they ask they could take a hold on. That's their God. It closes up. Ain't nobody.
But the whole point of what he's saying is it's the reality. At the end of the day, we all we got, we all we need. Like again, I was saying nobody's coming to save us. There's no not one person. Even though the folks on Kentmore and Causeway tried to save my brother's life when he was beat unmercifully by 17 maniacs, unhinged maniacs that had a history leading up leading up to the day they killed my brother. Literally 24 hours they tried to kill a man. They didn't succeed. They had to have a blood sacrifice, and unfortunately, it was Tyrone West. And unfortunately, they're going to keep on killing our loved ones until we step up, stand up, and keep our foot on their neck. And that's what we need to do, and that's fight this ugly system. I just really feel like today at my job, we did an end of the summer bash, and they had a magician there doing magic tricks, and I'm still trying to figure out how in the world did Willie Woo pull a rabbit out of an empty box? Like I saw the box being empty, but that's equivalent to the system because it's an illusion, and I have you make you feel like, oh, it's doing this and doing it ain't doing nothing. We've been having these same issues over 400 plus years. We went from being lynched from trees, like we've always been blood sacrifice, and now it turned into us being gunned down or beaten street, and nobody's doing anything about it. Every week we bring the list to you, and unfortunately, it gets longer and longer. It don't stop, and that's why we're not going to stop. No one, no one deserves to be brutally murdered. No one. No one, no matter what color you are, whatever you're affiliated with, no one deserves to be brutally murdered. And that's why we out here. Like literally, we was busy all week long. Just at a meeting last night, out here tonight after working, and then got to be at a meeting tomorrow night, and the list goes on. But it's just sad. And I want to say one last thing before we I pass the mic to see if anybody else want to talk. 'Cause I know my sister wanted to bring up some issues, but we have to realize before they have these public hearing meetings, they already know what they're going to do, and and they know what they're not going to do. That's why I call it the Doug and Pony Show. They're actually sitting there acting like they're really listening to us when they're not. The only ones that are listening to us is literally the news media. And I'll take Fox 40 Live, for instance, because all they do is use parts of what was happening in the meeting to push their narratives on whatever they want to push. Right now, they got it totally against Safe Street. So anybody coming out town hall meeting, if you say one word about Safe Street, they filming you on. They won't. They hate me so much they won't even show my head. They chop my head off. All I saw was my white T-shirt go past. I ain't even good enough to sing. And man, they just showed my shirt. I don't know how they missed his hair, but they just showed my shirt. That was it. No parts, nothing. And they don't even use parts of the last meeting of what I said. But didn't even they cut me out. Cut the audio off it. I mean, they dirty. They dirty. But it's all good. But at the end of the day, it's like my brother said. We all we got. We all we need. I'm gonna bring my sister Dina up here. Mike. Oh, one
I
of
got
my
my
queens.
voice. I got my voice.
Okay, all right. I'm great brain. Miss Smoke up here. Yeah, come on, Miss Smoke.
It's been a while since I've been on this mic. It's been a while. And I was going to be silent just because I haven't been on here. Missed everybody. But now, after what Political Boom had to say, he tore it up, but he's talking facts. And also, he's telling you and letting everybody else know, letting all of us know that we need to be present. It's time to show up. It's time to show up. Spend time to show up. Now, I know there's a lot of things that happen in people's lives. There's things happening in my life. But however, these times are too critical just to be on the sidelines. It's cute to be in the virtual space, beefing with somebody else. But I tell you what, there's nothing like street heat. There's nothing like street heat. The fact that this queen here has to show up. She show up to the meetings. She's out here. She's fighting. She's fighting. She's fighting. And again, I petition all of us to show up at some point. At some point. And that's all I need to say. That's all I want to press upon you. If you're looking at this and you're listening to this, show up. Show up. The assignment will come to you. But it's not going to be coming to you just sitting behind the screen and looking and applauding. They got all the accolades. But they need presence. They need support. They need your voice. And for those who still behind the shadows that don't know if they should show it and speak out, we got you covered. We got you covered. I got people behind me that can get you covered. But you got to show up. You got to make yourself present. So that's all I got to say for right now. Mic check.
Mic check. You heard it from Miss Smoke. Show up. You don't need nothing else to show up. I mean, everybody ain't got time like every day or every week, but show up whenever you can. Make it your business to show up. So, on that note, brother, do you want to say anything?
Only thing I'm going to say is, at the end of the day, right now it's about to get real, wintry, and everybody get all really again on the downtime. Is what you looking at is what gave you product or what your result is. What you was looking at in 2015 all on YouTube and things like that, that has come out you. What they say is procrastination is the cousin of cowardice. Procrastination is the cousin to cowardice. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Well, if our ancestors said they do it tomorrow, it'd be more than 400 years we'd be dealing with what we're dealing with. There is no tomorrow. Tyrone didn't think he from a different era like me. We knew it wasn't no tomorrow, but we didn't think it was going to come like that. Though we know we black male fetus survivors, we did not nor think that a black police officer and a white police officer, Spanish, would take our life in America. It wasn't the KKK. It was black, white, and all. It's called a system. Salute.
And I hate the system too. I hate the system
Where's
too.
the witch doctors? Forget Jar Hop. Bring the witch doctors back.
And then with systems they could bat other systems, and it's all corrupt. I feel like we need to knock the whole entire system down, whatever that looks like, and build it back up again. Because the system, and I hate when people say, "Oh, it's broke." It never was operating and function. It never was fixed. It's fixed, alright. It's designed to do what it's doing. That's wiping us out. That's depressing us on every level. That's splitting us up on every level. That's killing us on every
If you're a
level.
CO,
Every level.
if you're a CO, like if you're a CO, if you're a police, and the first black police in Baltimore was 1954, they couldn't lock up white people until like 1970 something. It's only 2023, and you have the nerve to rise up against me. How dare you? You still the janitor.
So again, I expect to see everybody. Please come out tomorrow. Can you give me that address, my baby? School to the blind. I'm gonna get my sister to give you the address, some information. Please show up.
Tomorrow's meeting about Worley is at 200 East Wells Street in 21230 South Baltimore. National Federation of the Blind, 6 to 8 p.m. I just wanted to say something real quick. First, I'm encouraging everybody to get the new book out. They Killed Freddie Gray, and that's exactly what it's called. They Killed Freddie Gray. It's by Justine Barron, and it's not like a book club for her. It just has facts in it. All of the stuff that Tawanda is out here saying and telling you that they've done for cover up is exposed in this book because they do it for every case, every police brutality case. So, she says stuff, and people look at her like she's got three heads with a big old eyeball in the middle of her forehead, and it's actually the truth. It's the truth. And the more bizarre shit sounds, the more true it is. The more true it is. So, we've been going to these meetings. We've gone to two so far. And, of course, our questions aren't being actually answered. They're not being addressed. Worley keeps saying, the same canned ass shit. IAD handle shit. And we all know IAD is a joke. Everybody knows IAD is a joke. Everybody knows that there's state's attorneys in bed, literally, with police officers. So the whole system is screwed up. And the book exposes all that. How during the quote unquote investigations, the state's attorneys help them cover up. So, Worley is full of shit. Worley does not deserve to serve. And then Brandon Scott, wouldn't even really let him speak last night. He was speaking on Worley's behalf. It was pretty pitiful. It was like a ventriloquist with a fucking puppet sitting there, and it's what the hell? So then, put him on his lap with them funky ass, two pair of pants that he had on, or whatever. And just Brandon Scott trying to do all the talking, trying to justify a bad decision that he's making. So, like Boom says, those who loan you own you. So who's giving Brandon Scott the campaign money to put Worley up? And then what he says is, oh, Harrison on his way out picked him. Okay, the dude fucking quit in the middle of a contract. He quit before the contract was up. And you let him pick his successor? That isn't what the policy says is supposed to happen. That's not the vetting process. So Brandon Scott gotta be on the freaking tape by somebody. Whoever Worley's backers are, I'm just saying, he seriously is a major disappointment as far as mayor goes. But Worley has no answers. He's the king of fucking deflection. I'm gonna say that to his face at one of these last two meetings because everything is everybody else's responsibility. And that's what he said. When I was the major over Northeast District, I was overseeing 140 men. And okay, well, and guess what? We can point out 10 of them that were running amok in 2013, terrorizing, brutalizing, and murdering people. That was under your watch, under your command. You're the fucking boss as the major. So what the hell were you doing? You can't tell me you didn't know what they were doing. You can't tell me that you didn't know what they were doing. and they were acting just like the GTTF members. The only reason why the GTTF went down is because the feds went after him, not because IAD went after him. And if you can't handle 140 people in one fucking district, how in the hell are you going to handle a whole entire Baltimore Police Department? Man, fuck you, Worley. You don't deserve to serve. Mic check.
Mic check.
We got this mic on fire. Lord, you know, let me cool down.
He's annoying, you know?
Cool down. But in all actuality, that's the fact. She just kicked him. If you couldn't handle 140 men and women, how in the world are you going to handle them all? It's impossible. It's impossible. So tomorrow, we need Lottie, Dottie, and everybody to come on out. And then if you can't, if your schedule, won't have you be able to do it, please get in contact with your council person and say, Wardy does not deserve to serve. That's just the simple. That's the least thing you can do. The middle thing you can do is call your council person and say, Warley does not deserve to serve. If you can't make it out, that's it. That's it. That's it. Right. And then I'm gonna ask anybody else want to open the mic now. Do anybody else want to add or say anything before we move on? All right. If all hearts are clear, I'm gonna bring Hillary up.
Okay, before we read these lists, we like to do a disclaimer and let you know where we're coming from. It is the mission of the West Coalition to work for accountability for Tyrone West and all victims of police brutality. We believe that there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police can use de-escalation strategies to diffuse situations without necessarily using force, and we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about those families impacted by police brutality and community violence. We seek to lift up the names of their loved ones from a place of respect and care. We obtain lists of names of those shot and killed by police and those lost to community violence from national and local news outlets. We know that these are by no means exhaustive lists, and that gun violence isn't the only way people are murdered. We did not obtain detailed information about the circumstances surrounding each of these deaths or the people who died. By reading these names, we are not condoning violent behavior on the part of anyone involved in the situation.
Thank you so much, Hillary. And yeah, so if you're into praying, please say a prayer. If not, that's okay as well. All we need is positivity. Right now, we are a hurting city. And I think we're a hurting world because the things that are happening in our city right now is happening city to city, state to state. It's just way too much. And at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be murdered. Nobody deserves to be a victim. And guess what? All victims don't die. Some survive. Nobody deserves that type of trauma, and they suffer from it. So, again, I'm going to be praying, but I want us to take 1 minute, guys, for both of the lists, the community violence as well as the police brutality list. Let's take 1 minute of silence. Mic check.
Mic check.
Thank you so much. Brother Brian, you may come up. Mic check.
So, actually, before we get to this, I want to think back to something that Boom was saying about how each of these lives is like a drop in the ocean, and we uphold these names because we don't want it to be just an ocean. We're trying to make it so these people are still people. They may be part of that ocean of pain, but they are also individuals who we honor and strive to do right by. So if you can just echo the names back to me, I'd appreciate. Nikia Imani Collins. Anthony Williams.
Anthony Williams.
Daryl L. Benner.
Daryl L. Benner.
Ricardo Burley.
Ricardo Early.
Devontae Whitener.
Devontae Whitener.
Shay Davis.
Shay Davis.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I'm gonna call my sister up for the police brutality list. Thank you. Mic check.
Mike check.
So these are police brutality victims across the country from the 15th to the 22nd. In San Diego, California, an unknown male was killed on the 15th.
For killer cops. Ashe.
In Morris, Wisconsin, an unidentified male was murdered on the 15th.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Also on the 15th, in Jeffersonville, Indiana, a 65-year-old man, Richard Glass.
Richard Glass.
In Fontana, California, a 45-year-old man, also on the 15th, Alejandro Diaz.
Alejandro Diaz.
On the 16th, in Henderson, Tennessee, an unidentified person.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Also on the 16th, in Clarksville, Tennessee, 31-year-old Brandon Green.
Brandon Green.
Also on the also on the 16th, also in Clarksville, Tennessee, I have to assume they're related, Leonard Green.
Leonard Green.
On the 16th, in Nampa, Idaho, an unidentified male.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
Also on the 16th, Mendota, California, 31-year-old Javier Zavala.
Javier Zavala.
And then on the 22nd, in Hillsborough County, Florida, an unidentified 39-year-old male.
Cell blocks for killer cops. Ashe.
I check.
Mike check.
Thank you. So I want to thank everybody that came down tonight. I want to give a special shout out to Political Boom, Political P. Political P. I'm horrible with names. Political P, who's shining with his beautiful outfit on. I want to give a big shout out to Miss Smoke. Miss Smoke who held it down. Our sister Dina, Hillary, just everybody, the whole entire West Coalition, everybody online. Sorry, we have not been able to like read your comments and give you guys feedback and things like that. I kind of miss Marcellus, but just we love you guys. And again, tomorrow if you can come out, please come out to the town hall meeting that starts from 6 to 8 at the School of the Blind. Please come out. And remember, live to love to live. I love you all. We will see you guys tomorrow in Next West Wednesday. Mic check.
Mike